you've been taping this whole time, huh? You didn't know that? You're right. Can I sit like this, or do I have to be proper? I can.
Are we allowed sunglasses to these things?
How do we look? You can be like,
I was kidding, but you know.
Cool.
I can always give you the Warhol interview. You know, you ask a question, I go off on a complete tangent.
Absolutely.
It's really a cool place to be.
Some people say that's what constitutes beauty.
I was frustrated and it just kind of came out. And
hello and welcome to LTC Gallery. I'm Esther Vidoc.
Standing with lighters up. Music from a machine. Perfect music.
It's awesome. Oh, it's awesome.
Hi, welcome to LTC Gallery. I'm your host, Gail Goodwin, and I'm here today with local photographer, Mark Eshbaugh. Welcome, Mark.
Hello.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
I guess we can start off by asking, we're going to start all the way from the beginning. Can you tell me how you first came to become involved in photography?
Well, photography actually wasn't my first choice. When I enrolled into an arts program, I had intended to be a painter, but at the time I had to choose the medium in which I was going to concentrate in for my degree. I had just started taking photography, and I just happened to fall in love with the process of making photographs. So, and as I look back on it, I also noticed that I had been trying to paint photographs, so I figured I might as well cut out the middle and just take the photograph instead of trying to paint it.
And you studied at UMass Lowell. Can you tell me a little bit about that? And why did you choose UMass out of anything?
Well, UMass, I went there because it was a liberal arts program, and it was not strictly an art school. And at the time I was originally looking at colleges, I was torn between going into a music field or an art field, and they had a strong program there for both, and art ended up winning out.
Can you tell me, we talked a little bit earlier about the camera. Can you tell me that story again?
Well, my work now revolves around multiple rolls of film shot simultaneously, and I discovered that while I was doing my undergraduate thesis work, and I had stumbled across an older camera that they no longer made film for, so I decided to load multiple rolls of film into it to see if the camera itself worked, and just as an experiment. And because of the results that I got out of that, which I really enjoyed, I started working that way as opposed to just having, have it be an accident. And so since then I've started creating my own cameras and making them so that they specifically take multiple rolls of film, and now I have ones that take 2 rolls and 3 rolls and at different formats like panoramics and standard sizes.
Is there anybody else that does that you know of? Because that's really funky.
Not that I know of. There's only one other photographer that I've ever met that, or even heard of for that matter, who works in fragmented images. His name is escaping me at the moment, but he shoots multiple 4x5, so there's 4 sections to an image.
Oh, okay. at nothing like this.
Yeah, it is.
It's really interesting. Very cool. Now, did that start before you went to graduate school, or?
Yeah, I had started doing this type of work before graduate school. My final semester of undergraduate is really when I started picking up on it and working with it exclusively. And then graduate school, I really spent my time trying to perfect it.
And where did you go to graduate school?
The Savannah College of Art and Design.
What was that like?
It was good. It was an excellent program. Very, very strong technical background there, and
When you say technical, you mean like the camera? Like taking it apart, putting it together?
combination of things. They have a strong program in the actual printmaking and learning the chemistry. For instance, these landscapes, the colors are actually created by chemical toners, and they give such a in-depth chemical background that we learn to make all of the chemistry from its component parts. Like, rather than just getting developer, we go and we know that it's comprised of particular chemicals, such as methyl and hydroquinone, etc.
Such as what? What were those words?
Exactly. And so with that technical background, we learn what each chemical does and why. And so now I've incorporated that into my work, and that's how I get the colors. I create the colors through the silver, which these are silver prints, is a highly reactive metal, and so the colors are easily changed by chemical reactions. So I studied that pretty in depth, probably more so than anyone else while I was there, and learned to create a multitude of colors, and so now I've incorporated that into my work as well. So
That is interesting. So that's all done like in the developing process, because don't sometimes they take black and white photos and kind of color them in afterwards?
yes, you can do that with coloring oils or inks.
That's
but
how it's usually done.
Yeah.
But you.
Yeah, but I do it this way because it's more archival. By changing the silver, which is because it's so reactive, it becomes a more stable compound. So it actually makes the photograph last longer physically.
Oh wow.
Whereas, if you add the oil or the inks, they'll fade after time, and well, oil will crack, but inks will fade. So the color will always be there. And
Very cool. What was it like studying in the South? Was it
was
different from being up here?
It was too hot. Yeah, down there they have a different way of looking at things. It's very much slower, particularly in the area I was in. And in some ways it worked out well, because if you meet your deadline, you have a great work ethic. They were pretty relaxed about deadlines and stuff. Generally, if you got it in, great. If not,
Great.
yeah, they really let a lot of things slide. But I always worked kind of ahead to stay up with things.